Good morning, everyone. Dear ladies and gentlemen, my name is Marta Chmielewska-Nielak, and I represent International Project Department at our university. I would like to welcome you at the conference, which is the final step of our 3 years Erasmus Plus project In-Haptic, Inclusive Education in Action, Cognitive Haptic Learning in the VET System. I would like to welcome very warmly our partners. Teresa and Monica from Studio Arterion, Italy, Giulio and Saverio from In-Haptic, Italy, Venetia from ELI, from Greece, Marta and Miguel from AFN, Portugal, and Marta and Arturo from In-Haptic, Spain. I would also like to welcome our guests who will join us later on. Jan Worpus-Budziejewski, who is a Vice Dean from Graphic Design Department of our university. Adam Benarek, our panel discussion moderator from English Philology Department of AHE. Before I give a floor to our speakers, I would like to introduce you to the order of the conference. It is divided into 2 parts. First one is designated to the intellectual outputs we elaborated during the whole project. After each presentation, there will be a time to ask questions if needed. The second one is a panel discussion addressing important topics related to dealing with our project. Between the session, we will have 30 minutes break and then lunch. After lunch, we officially end the conference and issue certificates. You can pick them at the reception. If you registered yesterday afternoon or didn't register at all, please contact the project department at the reception desk to arrange the form of the receipt of the certificates. On the back of your identifiers, you have QR code directing you to the registration website with the agenda of our conference. If you have any questions, you can ask me directly when I'm sitting during the break. And now I'm giving floor to our rector, Ela Dulle-Dwosińska, who will also welcome you on behalf of our academy.
That was what I wanted to say. That it's a great pleasure to welcome you on behalf of the authorities of the University of Humanities and Economics, in which together we will focus on new ways, new methods, in which we are strongly interested as the modern academy open to new methods. It's about cognitive haptic learning, that's the new one, learning through touch. I'm also strongly interested. I never heard of such methods. So I would like to thank you for your presence, for your contribution of your time and energy to this topic. And we will focus on finding practical ways to open doors for those who face unique difficulties in learning. So thank you and welcome again. To whom should I give floor now? Thank you, Marta. Have a great day.
Thank you, Ella, for welcoming. Thank you very much. And now I would like to ask our first presenter, Aneta Poniszewska-Maranda, who is our content-related expert in our project, who will tell a few words about result 1 that we elaborated under our project. Please come. You can sit here and present. You have the microphone there.
Okay. Thank you very much. I don't know how it works. Okay, this is my presentation. I'm the first time here, so I'm a little lost in fact. However, thank you very much. Okay, I hope. Let's try. All right. Welcome everybody once again. It's a pleasure for me to be here and to present the first learning output of the project that was presented by Marta at the beginning. So the first result, in fact, of the project was the handbook that was released at the beginning, of course, because the first one at the beginning of the In-Haptic project. This handbook presents, as we can see here, the research that was that was made by the project partners during the first stage of the project, and it was made based on the desk research and based on the field research that we realized as a partnership together, and also each of us find the information separately in our countries. So in fact, this is something that we don't only present the common knowledge, common information, but also the last part, what I will present later, show us the individual, we can say, individual knowledge coming from each partner country separately. The handbook, as I said, present first of all the main idea, the main purpose was to present the pedagogical model that is connected with the title of the project, with the area of the project. And the main idea, as Marta said at the beginning, was to show us the possibility to include the ICT technologies, especially AR and virtual reality for the in the education, for the education of students, person. Maybe also it could be also for children, not only the young people, or also it can be for older people. Here I put the content of the handbook. Of course, at the beginning we have always the introduction that presents the main idea, the main purpose, the main content, and present the target for which the authors of the result of the book of the materials put the main impact. Next, we present also some activities that make up the pedagogical model which was created. Also the resources. So we of course have the technological resources, we have the educational resources, and some additional information which are of course important. What is also the idea? What I said, the target group of this project, first of all, are the vet trainers, but in general, of course, we all of activities or results that will be presented later on are given for the learners. Of course, we can adapt also the results not only for this target group that we are mentioned first of all, but also it is important to think is in general, so we can also adapt the result for any age of people. As I said at the beginning, the methodology that we use to make the research, to find the information that were important for the realization of the handbook. Of course, as I said, it was the desk research and the field research. Especially, as I said, I think what is the important point, the important value of the handbook, that we made the research in different European countries. So it has the wider view. Not only we put in. We didn't only present the information, the knowledge, the view, the perspective of one country, but as I said, we presented different countries from different parts of Europe. So I think this is also some additional value of course of the handbook, but also of the next activities, the next result that will be presented by my colleague, in fact. And the impact, so of course the handbook has the impact on the teachers, vet teachers, as I said, but also of course, of the partnership organization. It's always like that. It is important that each of us can develop our knowledge, can develop or themselves in different areas. So each project gives some additional value that not only for the target group, but also for the person who realizes that and who are involved in the realization of such projects, such results. And of course the stakeholders, different other stakeholders, so different I can say organizations who can be treated as the stakeholders, directly, indirectly. It's of course is obvious. And here I put the structure, in fact, of the handbook. It's a lot of text, of course. However, the titles of each chapters are maybe a little too long. However, I think it's good sometimes, but because they present, they show us what is the content of each chapter, each part. So of course in the beginning we have some headlines of the project, next haptic experience definition in education, and of course, as I said, as we know, it is important to put the particular view from the particular perspective of the people with different disabilities, in our case visual disabilities. Next, education areas in the haptic experience method use. Trees to use the haptic experience method, the model, the resources, technical resources and education resources that we can use. That are also available for us. And of course, what is always important, what is important not in this project, this is important in different areas of research, of education, some the good practices. So sometimes when we make something based on our experience, what is, I think, in our own world or in our times now important, because then the knowledge, everything change sometimes very quickly, especially in my domain, which is IT, ICT. So I know that everybody knows that. So it's changed very quickly. So it is important to base on some good practices, which are created, developed, defined, determined based on the experience of the people who are the practical owners of in the given area. And finally, we have the research, the national research, what I mentioned before, made by each partner organization in the country. So what I said, it is also important, and it gives the big value for the of course for the handbook, but in general, as I say, for the whole project. So here we have some description. Maybe this is not a good idea to present everything in detail. So of course, as I said, here we have the first chapter of the handbook presents the headlines of the project and description of the methodology that we use. So as I said, that is field research, which is of course which made of the experience of the knowledge of people of the people who are involved in the in everyday life, in working with such domains which are interested for us. Next, we present the haptic experience definition in education with, of course, as I said, with the particular impact on the people with disabilities. So we made the definition of the haptic feedback, haptic technology, and of course one of them what was important. So the haptic and the sense of touch, and the types of haptic technologies. Of course, one of them, which is very popular, it can be used for many people because many people has a mobiles now. I don't want to say that everybody, but maybe almost everybody, but not everybody on the world, but however, maybe. But doesn't matter. So we can use different, you can say new IT technologies that gives us the possibility to help in the using of the results. Education areas and haptic experience method used. So of course we can incorporate the tactile haptic methods in different education area. So now IT is everywhere. The methods, different tools, different products, materials that are based on IT technologies are everywhere in each domain. So in fact, we can use them for also education. I can say for in all the domains that we need. Here we made also some examples of activities that are related to the use of haptic experience. So it's described in the handbook. Next, we have the trees to the use of haptic experience. We identified that as first of all the lack of research. Of course, it changes all the time because this domain is also dynamic. So we can change sometimes more quickly than even expect. Also, some maybe opinions, some attitude of the teachers that sometimes we need some extra, I don't know, some extra tools, some extra devices to use them. So this blocks that limit the people in using. And however, also the technology always is not it's not perfect. It's always like that. But if it is something is not perfect, so we have the area to improve it. So I think it's a good point. Still improvements are needed, of course, in the technology, but it's everywhere like that. And the model, the pedagogical model based on the tactile, is the training for students with selected disabilities. We have, for example, four areas of intervention in physical education, sport, and physical activities that were also presented and described in the handbook in this chapter. Next chapter was about the available education and technological resources. So of course we have type of didactic tools, we have haptic media, visual impaired specific devices, and I think it's quite a big set of tools, resources that we can use. Some of them, of course, are open for use for everybody. So really, this is a lot of possibilities that we have. Also, we presented some examples of use of haptic methodology with the use of virtual reality methodology. So here we have some examples of the applications that we can use that can be used as a support for teachers, for trainers. And what I said also, what is important always in different domains, not only here, but we put the impact on that also here. So the good practices in use of haptic experience methods. And as I said, of course, they are presented all of them in the handbook. So here we have the examples of this practical use of good practices that we can find in the literature. And finally, as I said, the national research that were made by all the partners. As I said, we made in different European countries, in Spain, Portugal, in Italy, Greece, and Poland. So I think it is really a important and big value of all the activities, and also from the point of view of the handbook the same. So we can see how it works in all the countries, and I think it can also bring some experience for show the experience from different countries, and also can give us some different perspective, different points of view that can be joined together when we want to find and we want to produce the new solutions. Thank you very much. I don't know, the questions or yes, you said that questions will be later, so as I remember, yes?
Yes, but if you have some questions right now, you can ask them if you want. If not, you can ask some questions maybe during the panel discussion. That is the second point of our conference.
I think that maybe we get some answers later, but I'm interested if the methods are very expensive to implement in on the spot.
Now, when we are talking about IT solutions, IT unfortunately is always expensive. However, when we use to create something, to develop, because the IT industry is expensive. I don't know why sometimes, however, it is like that. We cannot discuss that now. However, of course, there are the tools that are open. So there are more and more in different domains, solutions, tools, resources that are open, so free. So we can use them, and I think most of them are really quite good.
I've seen some applications for iOS, like vibration or something. Yes.
Yes. So it will be, I think, presented later.
Okay,
yes.
Great.
So it will be presented in the next point of the program.
Ellen. Thank you for asking the question. Thank you, Aneta.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so now I would like to introduce, our colleague from Italy, Giulio, who will present the In-Haptic application for tactic inclusive teaching. So the floor is yours.
Good morning, everybody. So the In-Haptic app. First of all, I'm Giulio. I'm from Informatica, from Italy, and our main output for this project was the development of an application that uses actually the haptic technology. So we had our main goal was to create an innovative method of education, of vet education, and our approach was, in fact, the use of cognitive haptic technology, haptic technology, and the use of sound like ASMR and binaural sound in order to help people with visual difficulties or blind people. We had some challenge to overcome, like the limitation of traditional educational tool and the barriers that the people with visual impairment have, and but we also had the big opportunity to include different sensory dimensions in our studies. So we developed, in fact, this app, which is called In-Haptic Vet. It is a cross-platform application that you can find both in for iOS and for Android, and it integrates sight, hearing, and touch through the use of haptic engines. It is accessible to students with disabilities and cognitive diversities, and especially, as I said, with visual difficulties, for visually impaired people and blind people. The haptic technologies is based on vibration, and more or less every smartphone now has a small engine, which is In-Haptic engine, and through the use of our know-how on developing app and developing application for iOS and Android, and through the use of binaural sounds, which are another part of our studies, we started to develop the application. So the main feature are, in fact, the production of video, images, and 3D images, the possibility to upload audio in multiple languages, the tactile and ASMR tracks, so the sensory outputs, and the dashboard for the vet teacher in order to make them create and upload different contents, which I think will be shown later. The development method was the classical engineering approach. So we made a study of the needs of the analysis of the requirements. We designed and implemented the application, and we tested it basically until the final release. The first version of the app, the alpha phase, was just a simple screen of an iOS application with an electrical circuit. The user, by touching the circuit, could feel the vibration along the circuit. The next phase was the beta phase, in which we added the possibility for administrator to create and upload content in all the different languages to an intuitive platform. This is a screen of how more or less the creation of contents works. So everybody who has an account can upload an image and select the areas with different color. Every color will be associated to a different vibrational pattern and a different sound. This is a screen, some screenshots from the application, which can be is available in all the languages that guides you through the selection of languages and through the selection of images. The last phase, the testing of the beta phase, was made by Informatica and all the other partners by the use of glasses that replicate the problems of visually impaired people. These are some examples of the images that have been uploaded. These are the best rated images on the platform, which are the digestive system, the solar system, an apartment of an house, and an electric circuit. Our final consideration are that we think that shared accessibility is crucial, is one of the most important things for the future of development of this kind of application, and also a great opportunity for those who study them to explore, to create a new kind of application, new kind of solutions for the teaching. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought there was the new version with the QR code, but it doesn't be uploaded. Anyway, we can provide you a link both for iOS and Android in order to download the application. Thank you. Thank you, Marta.
Thank you, Giulio.
I'm sorry for the
Okay,
QR code.
so are there any questions regarding that part, or we can continue? Okay, thank you again,
Thank you,
Giulio.
I can leave it.
Okay, so now we will present our result number 3, which will be presented by Monica and Teresa. So welcome you, ladies. The floor is yours right now.
Good morning to everyone. My name is Teresa Maltesa, and with my colleague Monica Miglionico, we represent Studio Risorse, a vocational training center located in Matera, in the south of Italy. First of all, before my presentation, I want to thank Marta, Neta, and all university team for the good work, for the good job over these 3 years. In particular in the field of the management and the coordination of all the partnership, And of course, I want to thank all the partners for the good work over these 3 years. Thank you very much to all of you. So, Studio Risorse was responsible for the intellectual output number 3, that is the competence profile of the vet In-Haptic expert. And the general goal, the general objective of this intellectual output was to describe the competence profile of the vet teachers and trainers that use pedagogical models and cognitive learning strategies based on tactile experiences. So this is the most important goal. Our target group, of course, are vet teachers and training working with students with sensory disabilities, so blind, visually impaired people, and with learning disorders. The specific objectives of our intellectual output. First of all, the first one was to describe the analysis conducted in each partner country among the vet trainers and teachers on the use of pedagogical models based on tactile experiences. The second one was to define the key activities, so the unit of competence and the learning unit that characterize the profile of the teachers. And then finally, the third objective was to describe the job analysis of vet teachers who adopt pedagogical models and cognitive learning strategy based on tactile experiences. How we reach these objectives? Through innovative statistical tests and, of course, by the work of our partners, so using partner data reports. The report is structured into 3 main sections. The first one, of course, an introduction in which we describe the objective of our analysis, the approach, the methodologies, and the tools we use, and of course the sample characterizations. The second section is the section number 1, where we present the key activities of the expert who creates inclusive educational pathway. And then, in the last section, we present the results of a course of the analysis. So, the correlation matrix among key activities and the related knowledge and skills, the profile identified by each partner country, and then the description of the final ideal profile, so the ideal characteristics of the expert and the teacher that use inclusive haptic education and training methods. So, concerning the first part of our report, the introduction, we describe, as I said before, the methodology and the tools used. In particular, we use the job analysis that make it possible to examine which tasks are required to the teachers, to the job profile, and what skills and knowledge are needed to perform them. And also we can use job analysis to determine the training goals associated with the performance of a specific job. So, in general, we have 3 methods of job analysis. The first one was the job analysis oriented to the job. The second one, the job analysis oriented to the worker, and then the hybrid job analysis. In our case, for our job analysis, we decide to use the third, so the hybrid analysis method, that is the combination, the mix of job-oriented and work-oriented methods. So, in order to collect the data, we realize a questionnaire. In this questionnaire, in order to analyze the competence profiles, we define the key activities required to do a profile, the specifics, the knowledge, the specific skills, and the transversal skills of the expert, and then also the equipment, tools, and output results associated with with each key activities. So, in In the second section of our report, we describe the key activities required to the profile, and we ask to teachers to indicate the level of importance and the difficulty level associated for each proposed key activities, assigning a score from 1 to 5. So we identify the activities, for example, definition of a studies program and of the educational path of the students with sensory disabilities and learning disorders, so the needs analysis. Other activities, for example, the definition of objective to be achieved for students with sensory disabilities, and we ask teacher to assign from 1 to 5. So the importance level for each of these activities. And in each partner country, after the administration of the questionnaire, we realize the flowchart of the key activities, applying this formula. For example, here we have the chart per key activity that we realize in the Greek flowchart. The formula was importance level associated per difficulty level associated. Okay, it's a statistical way to reach our results. And this way, we identify the most relevant and the less relevant key activities associated to the profile, in this case, in the Greek country. For example, in Greek flowchart, the most relevant key activity is the didactic methodological design, so the preparation of lessons and related exercise based on tactile experience. This is the most important key activities in Greek flowchart. The same, following the second section of the questionnaire, we identify the knowledge, and we ask, also in this case, to teachers to indicate the level of importance and difficulties associated with each of the proposed knowledge. So also for the knowledge, in each partner country, we define the flowchart of knowledge. And we identify the most important and the less relevant knowledge for the profile. In this case, the most relevant knowledge was knowledge of technology of touch, of course, haptics technology applied to education and training. So the rules of haptics, that haptics can play in multisensory content, and so on. Of course, the same formula for specific skills and for transversal skills. In each partner, we identify the flowchart of specific and transversal skills. And then, starting from the flowcharts realized in each partner country, we define the general flowchart. And now my colleague Monica will present us the result of this activity. Thank you.
Hi all, I'm Monica Miglionico from Studio Resources. As my colleague said, I agree with Teresa to say thank you to all of you to be here today and to all our partners for the work done in these years. So, as Teresa said, at the moment we had 5 different reports with the data analysis about key activities, knowledge, specific skill, and transversal skills. But the aim of our report was to identify the professional profile, and then, according to this professional profile, to plan a training course in order to train people to become a vet expert, in-haptic vet expert. So how to join all these different results in just one report? First of all, with a comparison of all flowcharts. So we had, starting from the flowchart came from Poland, Italy, Greece, Spain, and Portugal, so all our partner countries, we create just one common flowchart. And how we did it? Okay, we did it by the identification of the general average of its weight, because according to the formula that Teresa showed you before, we had the possibility to identify per each key activity, per each knowledge, per each specific skill, and per each transversal skills, and have a specific weight. And so, doing an average among all these weights, we had the possibility to design a general flowchart. Then the other activity we did was to the association among each key activities to its specific knowledge and skills, because we asked to ourselves, okay, now we know which are the key activities that a vet expert should be able to carry on, but which are the knowledge that he has to possess, which are the specific skills and the transversal skills that he has to manage in order to do a good job as vet expert. So we try with our report to give an answer to these questions. And then, giving an answer to these questions, we have the possibility to define the general profile of the vet expert, with the final aim to plan a training curriculum and training course, in our case online, but that can be used also face-to-face or in different ways of delivery, in order to train this particular and this very innovative profile. Okay, so first of all, as I said, we identify the general average of the weight for key activities. So this is just an example of table that you can find in our report. But if you want, on our project website, the report is uploaded in the complete way, so you can go in depth and find activity per activity, which are the results that we collected. For example, for the first key activity that we analyzed, that is the definition of the studies program, so the general need analysis, you can say that in our different countries, we calculate different weight, because according to the sample that we involved in our country, we obtain different results, from 90.36 that we collected in Poland to 13 to 40 of Greece. So we thought that the best way to identify a general flowchart was to calculate a general average with a simple mathematic formula. And we did the same per all key activity we analyze. So in the end, we obtained the general flowchart. As you said, the key activity in this general flowchart were classified according to the relevance. But I want to focus just a moment on this flowchart, because when we talk about relevance, we are not saying that some activities are not important for a teacher. Our target group is a teacher. Is made of teacher. So all these activities are important. We're talking about key activities. So all activities we study, we analyze are important. But for the specific case, so for our specific target group, that is teacher who will use this haptic technology to train people, there are some activities that are considered more relevant than others. For example, the didactic methodological design, so the preparation of lessons, exercise, using these new technologies for a vet expert are very, very important, and maybe they are more relevant than for other teachers. If we talk about the less relevant activities, we have, for example, drafting of final evaluation, or organization and implementation of some specific activities. These activities are important, but are important for general teacher. In our case, are less relevant. So we can say that the final podio of activities are: the first one, the design of didactic methodological activities using haptic technologies. The second one is the transfer of know-how. And in this case, the transfer of know-how is a little bit different from the general teachers, because we are not talking about the general transfer of know-how. I'm a science teacher, so I have to transfer to my students information, knowledge about science. No, in my case, because I'm a vet expert teacher, I should transfer to my students both information about the subject of my teaching, but also information about the way to use the innovative technologies that will help my student to study in an independent way. So, for example, if I decide to use our In-Haptic web app, in my lessons, I will show to my student information, okay, about the science, I don't know, chemical, or what is my subject, but I have also to teach to my students how to use the app. And for our purposes, we have also to teach teacher how to create content using the app. Because the app, as Giulio showed you before, has a remote platform where each teacher can create his own content. So we have in the app an unlimited library of image that we can associate to sound and haptic feedback. So it's very, very important that the teacher is able to use the app. In fact, in the training program that my colleague will show you later, you will know that we teach teacher on how to create content using the app. So the teacher has three important roles. First of all, teach his subject. Secondly, teach how to use the app. And third, teach how to create content using the app, in our case, but the same can be applied on all other kinds of projects. And the third key activity is monitoring, verification, and evaluation. Also, in this case, we are talking about not only evaluation of knowledge and skills acquired by students, but also monitoring of tools that we are using. And in this case are very, very important, because if we understand during the training path that we are using knowledge that are not usable, not easily for our students, we have to change something in order to make the study path as easy as possible. So, in the end, we with all this information, we reach the second and final part of the report, that is the professional profile. So the schematic description of the professional profile of the expert in pedagogical models and cognitive learning strategies based on tactile experiences for students with sensory disabilities and learning disorders. This schematic presentation focused especially on key activities with their associated skills, knowledge, and transversal skills. So, what we did in the end, because at the moment we have the general flowchart, we know which are the most important key activities, we know which are the most important knowledge and skills, but we have in the end to create a training path. So, from a quantitative analysis that we did till now, we passed to a qualitative analysis. And so we decided to divide all the key activities in 4 phases that will represent the 4 modules of the training activities. So the first phase is the planning of the training process. The second phase is the implementation of teaching process. The third phase is the evaluation of training process. And the fourth phase is not a chronological phase, because it's a transversal phase, that is the involvement of students, parents, and caregivers. Because if we think that our students, in our case, are a particular category of students, the involvement of caregiver and parents is very, 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 very important. So this is, in the end, the scheme that we provided, that you can find in our final report. It's very long, so I will show you just the first table as example. We know that the first phase is the planning of digital vet teaching process. Okay, among all the key activities we identified, which are the key activities linked to this phase? We have in this case 3 key activities: the selection of tools and device, the definition of goals, and the definition of the study program, so the needs analysis. Per each key activities, we precise the weight calculated according to this flowchart. The total weight will be very, very important. So in this case, for example, the first phase is as a weight of 42.04, and it will be very, very important, because at the end of the report, it gives us the possibility to pass from the phases to the training module. The same for the second phase. So in this case, we have 2 key activities linked to the second phase, and 2 key activities linked both to the third and the fourth phase. So the last things we did in order to pass to jump from the professional profile to the training module was the association of all knowledge, specific skills and transversal skills to the key activities. So in this way, our work was, okay, we have 4 phases. Per each phases, we have 1, 2, or 3 key activities. So we know what are the goal of that 3 activities. But in terms of training program, which are the knowledge and the skills that we should try to develop in the teacher, in the vet expert? So we did this association as shown in this scheme. In the end, this is the final matrix that is the most important things that required a lot of job, but is a complete description of the job profile, or the vet expert profile, where we identify per each phase 1, 2, or more key activities, and per each key activities the knowledge, the specific skills, and the transversal skills needed in order to carry on in a good way that key activities. So this is the final part of our report with the whole description of the profile. And so in the end, we need just one last step. As you said, it's very, very long, so I will jump. In the end, we need just one last step. Okay, we have the profile now. We know which are the 4 phases, and so the 4 modules. We know which are the activities, we know which are the knowledge and the skills, but how to plan a training program? By linking the weight of each key activities that we calculated and transform this weight in duration by using this simple formula. Because according to the profile, we know that the total weight of the activities is 130.2. And we know that the specific weight of each phase of each learning unit is 42.40 for the first one, 40.51 for the second, 23.62 for the third, and 23.85 for the fourth. So with the simple formula, we had the possibility to identify the percentage of weight of each unit, and then we decide to do a course of 60 hours. So applying that percentage to the specific duration of the module, we established it that the unit 1, so the module 1, will have the duration of 19 hours, more or less, the second one 18 hours, the third one 10 hours, more or less, and the fourth one 11. So with all this information, we were able to jump to the 4th intellectual output that will be the training program. And that's all for our part. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ladies. Do you have some questions regarding this part? Okay, so if not, I would like to invite right now Venetia from our another organization, Eli from Greece, who will present result number 4. The floor is yours.
Thank you. I think you can hear me. Okay, so can you hear me? Yes. Okay. So I'm Venetia Kimioni. I'm representing the European Education and Learning Institute from Rethymno in Greece. I'm an e-learning instructional designer and a project coordinator. And we were very happy to take the leadership of the 4th project result, the training program. Actually, at this point, I will have to thank Monica a lot because you covered a lot of my my points. The training program, as Monica and Teresa explained earlier, came to actually circle all the results that we had from the first 3 project results. So the handbook, the application, and the profile of the expert. The aim was to develop a training methodology, a modular curriculum, and a toolkit that would be based on the learning outcomes especially from the third project result. The target group was vet trainers and teachers, the partner organizations, and of course the caregivers of disabled students. So the content of the training material comprises of an overview of the criteria and standards for training and assessment methods, the modular curriculum that will support the vet teachers, and the learning materials that were related to the creation of multimedia streams characterized by visual, acoustic, and haptic components for the inclusive use by visually impaired and blind people. So the learning units are all written in legible and understandable terms. They're offering a choice of activities to propose to students, like assessment exercises and methodologies, etc. Okay, and also, as mentioned earlier, they have a specified time for completion. So, when you visit as a teacher, when you visit the platform for the training materials, first you can either have a teacher profile or a student profile. So when you go into the platform with a teacher profile, what you will see is that first of all there's a dashboard. Secondly, you can see all the contents created by users previously. You can see the content ratings for all the lessons created. And of course, there's the list of all the lessons that need to be completed. After that, there is also reporting on statistics, etc. So when you're a learner, when you go into the contents of the training material, first of all, sorry, did I do that? No. First of all, you see a dashboard where you can see all the contents. Of course, we're starting with a course introduction, which looks like this. And then the lessons themselves always start with an introductory video. In the video, we can see the module expected learning outcomes, the goals of the module, the course overview, and after that there is the module content. Okay, can we play the video?
Module 3, Unit 1. Monitoring, verification, and evaluation of the results achieved by students. Overview of the unit. In this unit, you are going to learn how to define monitoring in the context of education, explore different types of monitoring, identify common challenges in monitoring, verification, and evaluation, evaluate user feedback from a tactile interaction, expected learning outcomes of the unit. By the end of this unit, you will have learned about inclusive monitoring, formative and summative monitoring, challenges in inclusive education, tactile interaction evaluation. This unit aims to the understanding of inclusive monitoring, exploration of monitoring approaches, identification of common challenges, specialized skills in tactile feedback evaluation. Now proceed to the unit contents to start learning.
Okay, so that was just an example of one of the videos, the introductory videos of the modules. What was interesting that you probably could tell was that all the narration was AI generated. That's our partners from Informatica were kind enough to provide us the tool with. This made translation and application to the modules really easy. And to me personally, it was amazing that it came out so natural, actually in all the languages, not just English. So, okay, video. And at the end of each unit, there's a quiz. So at the end of all the quizzes and all the units, there is a certificate that the learner can get. So I didn't mention earlier, but it came from Monica's presentation. I think there's the four sectors that you defined at the profile, the expert profile, became 4 modules of the training program. In total, there are 10 units within those 4 modules, and the total was 60 hours of training. So the whole training is enriched with a lot of links and outside materials for further learning, a lot of videos, a lot of audiovisual material, so as to make it way more interactive and more appealing to the learner. And all in all, I believe that I'm sure that we covered all the skills that are necessary for a vetting haptic expert. So can we visit the platform link now? So our partner Julie from Informatica is going to show you in more detail how the platform itself is structured. Thank you very much.
Venetia. For now, let me turn on the computer, and then Julia will be presenting our platform. Okay. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. You can log in from my computer.
Okay, so good morning again. I will now show you the platform, and we will browse it so we can know better how it works and how users and administrator can create contents and follow the lessons. So now I need to check for the... I don't know how to write the hat. If Marta can help me with the keyboard, because it's a bit different from the one I use, the hat for the email address.
What kind of sign?
The hat, the one for the email.
Okay. Let me check it. Sorry.
Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, so this is the first screen of the user-side platform, and as you see, it is available in all the languages of all the partners that participate to the project. We will go with the English version so that everyone can see. So this is, I logged in with a profile that has already done all the lessons and has already take its certificate, but we are still able to go to, for example, the first unit of the first module, and this is how it will appear to the user. So we can play the introductive video. Yeah, the audio is not working because I can hear it from the PC. But I mean, it's like the one. Oh, okay. And we also have the PDF file of the unit in this case of Unit 1 of Module 1, which can be which is available online and can also be downloaded just by clicking by the small download button. If we go back to the home page, we can switch directly to the last page. As you can see, all the lessons are marked as completed, and in this case we can go, for example, to the last lesson and take our certificate, just as Venetia showed you before. This is the certificate in English. It will give name, surname, and the date in which it has been printed, it has been downloaded. And this is basically the platform from the user side. We can also check the admin side. I have to log out. And okay, so okay, this is a administrator profile, and just like Venezia showed you before, there is in the first page there is a dashboard in which we can browse through all this section. The first one shows us all the users, and we can add new persons that can new admins in order to allow them to create and edit the contents. We can see the contents. These are the contents of the application of the In-Haptic Vet app. So basically, images with the vibrational patterns and the different audios. And if we want to create a new one, we just have to click on this little button here, and we give a name, a description, and then we can upload a file, and then we can edit it as we want, and put the different colored areas as I showed you in my presentation. This is the part of content ratings, where we can rate indeed the different scenarios, the different images that all the admins have uploaded. And this is the part of the lessons. Here in this section, we can create new lessons and new final quizzes. At the moment, we don't need to create anything because the course has already been done. This is the report part, which shows us when and how many lessons have been completed by the users. And the last output was the streaming part, which allows us to basically stream different lessons online for live lessons, just like a conference application, basically. And this is how the platform works by the admin side. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Giulio. So I don't know, Venetia, if you would like to comment. Okay, guys. So do you have some questions, maybe, or would you like to share your thoughts about what we already discussed? Because now it will be around half an hour break, and then we will continue. We will discuss, and our last partner from Portugal will present our last product, and then we will have a panel discussion. So if you don't have any questions right now or any other feedback, I would like to invite you for coffee break. Enjoy, and we will meet here in half of an hour. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, hello. So welcome you again after the break. Before we start to tell about our last result, I would like to invite again Giulio, who will show for the newcomers again the platform that we created, our application. So Giulio, please, thank you very much.
So good morning. I don't know if does it work? Okay, yeah. Good morning, everybody. Again, I am Giulio from Italy, from In-Haptic. We are a small enterprises that, as you can guess by the name, we work on informatic. We develop application, and in this case, we develop also the web platform in which the teachers, the vet teacher, can create their own content. As I think you know, this project, In-Haptic Vet, aims to give to teachers a new tool to help them to teach in an innovative way, especially to people with visual difficulties or blind people. So now I'm going to browse to the platform that we create to show you how easy, how intuitive it is to create a content that that exploits audios and haptic patterns, vibrational patterns. Okay, so. Okay, so we log into the platform, and this is the main page with this dashboard where you can see, for example, all the users, all the contents that have been already created, the ratings. This is the part of the lessons where we created the 4 modules to teach to the trainers, to the teachers, how to teach to by using this application. A section for the report, where you can see how many lessons have been taken and when, and the streaming, which is the part for live lessons. The most important section of this platform that I'd like to show you is the contents part, which is the one where teachers, where administrator can create content in a very easy and intuitive way. For example, I can show you the electronic circuit. Now I can't create a new content starting by 0. So I will show you this that has already been created. And as you can see, we have first of all we have to name the content. Then we add a description that will be automatically read by the application, and in which we put all the information that the user of the app will need to know while while touching the screen and listening to the audio. So in this case, we uploaded an images of an electronic circuit. And what we do is to associate each part of the image to each part of the image a vibrational pattern and an audio, so that the user of the application, while touching the image, will feel a different vibrational pattern and a different sound based on the part of the image that he is touching, and he will know what he is touching because it will be told by the vocal description, making it so very easy, very intuitive for people with visual difficulties or blind people to understand this kind of images that might be very difficult to explain for people who actually can't see. We invite you to download the app if you have, I think you have a smartphone. I don't know if we can show the codes. Okay, so these are the QR codes to the app download. We have now a small problem with the Android version because we need to update a new build in the App Store, but the iOS version is perfectly working now. And if you want, you can download it and try the different contents that have been uploaded in the platform and feel the vibrational patterns and listen to the different audios that we uploaded. And if you want, you can give us a feedback. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Giulio. So as Giulio said, you can scan right now the QR codes for later, just to try out the application, which is really good, I think. And now I would like to invite our colleagues from Portugal, Marta, who will present our last product, a competence validation tool of the haptic expert. The floor is yours.
Thank you. First of all, I want to thank Marta for your hospitality and thank all partners for these 3 years to work. Okay. I'm Marta and I come from Portugal and I represent Academia Formação do Norte. So, well, our part is competence validation of tools of vet experiment. Okay, I made a small resume about what we talk, and then we talk about the test, the pilot test of feedback. Okay. Well, the general aims of this project is to improve the technical preparation of vet trainer and teacher, to innovate teaching approach and the tools for students with learning difficulties, exploring the potential offered by haptic training. And then we have a very implement of methodologies of this project. Okay. We talk about the performance focus interview, PFI. During the interview, the question focus is on vets carry out their works for trainer terms rather than on personal qualities and past work experience and training. These questions, the PFI questions focus on how vets carry out their works is practical terms rather than on personal qualities and past work experience and training. Like Teresa said, the PFI assents and four phases. Okay, planning to process, implementation, evaluation, and involve the students and parents and caregivers. Okay. For the evaluation, we have the PFI and scoring. Not applicate, the candidate doesn't work in that field. Number 1, not meet the candidate under the cut of one questions of the element. Number 2, score 2, met when the candidate is convincing about the performance but cannot explain the carry-able theory and principles. Number 3, very good, when the candidate is convincing about performance and can explain clearly and by the theory and the principles. When the pilot testing feedback, we made the test all of countries. We have our partners, and in Italy involve the target group, vet teacher, people working in the field in the special education, social promotion, and physical, psychological support. The number of involved 30 people and the feedback of the participants, in general, Italian participants declared that the PFI could be a very useful tool for the evaluation and assessment of the teacher and practitioners, but also mentions that the time dedicated to the interview is very, very longer. In general, Italian participants declared that PFI is very useful for the evaluation and assessment and teacher and practitioners, but also mentioned that the times dedicated to the interview help the teacher to reflect upon their works, attitudes towards the training benefits and the training skinnings. The main problem, the questions of PFI and self-assessment have to be explained because sometimes they are not clear for everyone. The structure and order of the questions could be improved. The duration of the interview is a bit long. It was very time-consuming to collect the data. In the Poland, the involved target is vet teachers, special education teacher. The person who involved is the number 32 in all of country. And the utility tools for assenting teachers using inclusive teaching methods combine the audio and video experience. Effectively, the tools in validating the competence of trainer and teacher of students with special needs. Teacher positively assess the potential and the tools to improve the assessment process of trainers and teachers of students with special needs. The problems is the same of Italy. He needs to improvement mailing concerning the clarity of tools, too long time to need to make interviews and details in instructions and additional material support. The implementation is the tool where needs. In Greece, the target involved group is a special education teacher, is 30% too, and the teacher provide valuable feedback in the tools efficient, if valid to competence the students with the special needs. Tools clarity, relevance, and curriculum, and ability to accurately access skills, satisfactions with CVTs, potentials, and essential process. The main problem, improvement such as the needs for more specific guidelines and additional resources to support the implementation of the tools. In Spain, the target involved is a teacher and education for a formal, informal, and non-formal education. The tools uses of use, it's well aligning with educational standards, effectively, sorry, I'm very nervous. The high potential to improve assessment practice among teachers and trainers. In Greece, needs for clear instruction of supplement material to facilitate its use. implement a pilot program to test the tools in the real work-life situation, establish a continuous feedback loop, continue to develop and support new work among teachers, propose a continuous assessment system. In Portugal, our target is teachers, people working in the fields in the special education, social promotion, and psychological support. The tools invalidations the competence of trainers and teachers of students with special needs, incorporate the tools with teaching methods, teacher possibly assess the potential of the tools in improve the assessment process of trainer and teacher of students with special needs. Clarity of the tools, detailed instruction, and additional material supporting in the implementation of the tools here needs. During the interview is a bit long time to consume the data collection process. The recommendation is the question of PFI sometimes are difficult to understand. The structure and order of the question should be more flexible and adaptable. It needs to identify the participants' professions and hard job fields before starting the interview, and we need to rewind the durations of interview and data collections. Need to have guidelines and additional research to support of implementation. The interview has the rephrase and explain the questions to participants. The interview can change the order and the structure of the PFI interview according to each specified situations. Knowing the participant job field will allow to PFI process not to take too long. Establish a continuous feedback loop among vet teachers, trainers, and as experts. Continue to develop a support network among vet teachers, trainers, and experts. Well, this is the pilot test of the 4 countries. Thank you very much. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you, Marta. So now it's time for our panel discussion with invited guests. So I would like to invite first Adam Bednarek, who is working in philology department at our university. He will be moderator of this discussion. I would like to invite Arturo from In-Haptic, who will be one of the participants of our discussion, as well as Teresa. And I would like to invite our Vice Dean of Graphic Design Department, Jan Vorpus. So guys, you are very welcome to come here. And we will start the discussion. Of course, our audience is very welcome to participate, to ask some questions, to be interactive. So I think more or less it will looks like this. And after the panel discussion, we will show on the screen the QR code that will direct you to our evaluation survey that you are very you are asked to fill it in, because it's very important to us to have your feedback about the whole conference. So thank you very much. The floor is yours, and you can start.
Let us wait for Janek.
Yes. Okay, I will go for Janek. So give us a few minutes.
So let us just wait for Yannick to come, and once he arrives, then we can continue with this session. I know that he is on the premises, so it shouldn't take long. Okay, so now that everybody is here, first of all, I'd like to welcome everyone, especially our partners in the project. You guys did a tremendous job. I found the project myself extremely intriguing because I'll always start with an anecdote, and let's start with an anecdote today. Years ago, when I first came into contact with teaching and using technology with people with disabilities, I met this young man. His name is Christopher. Christopher comes from Australia. Christopher has cerebral palsy. Christopher, by society at one point, was deemed not needed for economic growth or anything because he could not use his hands and he could not walk. But it is thanks to technology that Christopher and many people like Christopher are successful entrepreneurs running their own businesses, and it kind of puts a new definition in the term disability, or I am not my disability. And we are here today to talk about how technology, how the implementation of technology can help us with thousands, if not millions of people who are out there and are waiting for support. Analogy number 2. One of my great students, Justina, whom I did not know was visually disabled because we were, as during the pandemic, online, and you could not see many of the people because I teach translation, interpretation, and so on and so forth. And we talk in linguistics about imagery in language, how language allows us to create images in our minds and so on and so forth. So when I taught that, I used to tell my students, well, you have to envision that. You have to see it. And after one of the classes, Justina came, said, I want to stay online and talk to you. And she said, there's a problem with that because I am visually disabled. And I cannot imagine what you people who see can imagine. So we think differently. And that was a total new experience for me. It allowed me to rethink my way of seeing, quote unquote, seeing the reality. And because Justina was not born that way, she lost her sight due to illness, she became an interpreter between the world of the visual, of the seeing, and people with view disability. So she taught me a lot about how to think about these conditions and to say that these people are very special in the way that they see the world and that they help us understand the world. And I'm very happy that this project actually shows us and pushes us forward in technology and reality. So I'd like to welcome our panelists. If you could just, for the first part, introduce yourselves and tell us what you do. So, ma'am, we'll start with you.
Okay. Good morning to everybody. My name is Teresa Maltese. I come from Italy, from the south of Italy, from Matera. And with my colleague Monica, we represent Studio Arterion, that is a vocational and educational training center. So we are involved in different educational pathways in general for disadvantaged people, so migrants, women, and other people that want to invest in their to improve their competencies, their skills, in particular in the vocational and training sector. we are also involved in different European training projects, and the aim in general of our contribution is to develop new learning methods in order to develop new courses, new training courses for specific target group. So, as in this case, we want to do new opportunity to students with disabilities, with visual blind people, and so on, because in general, when we think about a new project, the first thing is to analyze the needs of our target group. And when we think about this project, of In-Haptic project, we start to the end of another project in which we develop different digital tools, but not for these particular students. So at the end of our first project, we think, okay, how to involve, how to include this particular target group. And so we think at this new project, because we know that at the center of each project, there is the person, okay? And then on the basis of the needs of the person, in this case of the students, we have to imagine and develop specific technologies. I know that we have time to speak about this, so for now it's enough, maybe.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Okay, good morning. As my colleagues, I'm Arturo José González Ascaso. I'm the Secretary General of In-Haptic, it's a Spanish NGO. We come from Zaragoza. And as my colleagues, the first question is it's a great pleasure to be here in Łódź once again, and in Poland. And the first, with my colleague Marta, we want to thank to Marta and Aneta as leaders of this project, and the other colleagues, well, the other friends, after 3 long years of very passionate work, to Teresa, Monica, Venetia, Marta, Manuel, Julio, and other friends that along these 3 years we can meet and join this fantastic work, because as Teresa says, that In-Haptic developed Erasmus Plus projects, and our main aim is help people with our work, and so we develop projects with for disability people or other disadvantaged groups, or youngsters, elder people, rural women, and so on. So it's a real pleasure to can offer a first step in all our projects, and in this in particular, first step to help people. So.
Thank you very much. And Zaragoza is one of my favorite cities in Spain, by the way. Been there many times.
In fact, there is a very special link between Zaragoza and Poland from the 19th century. So it's every time I visit Poland, it's a pleasure for me.
And Janek?
My name is Jan Vorpus. I am art director and graphic designer and tutor here at Academy. I'm teaching graphic design and visual communication. And as a designer, I work for leading Polish cultural institutions in designing the exhibition which are inclusive in the way that both people with disabilities and people without them can experience in almost the same way.
Okay, so we will now proceed to the question section. And again, as with any question, there's always a story behind a question. When, again, from personal experience, when I was working with this particular Apple trainer, and they were working on these inclusion tools, we invited a group of Erasmus Plus, also project members, to one of our sessions. And what we did, we were sneaky, because we changed their phone settings into disability mode. And we made the so-called, people who are capable of doing everything, we made them impaired in terms of using technology. You could not imagine grown people crying because they could not do anything with their phones. So we made the disabled people able, and the able people became disabled. And that brings us to this question of how would we now redefine ability? Because we're living in a world where technology allows us to do anything. So what would be the main barriers in implementing this technology in everyday teaching, schooling, where most of our audience does not even know about this technology? So the floor is yours, whoever wants to take first. What are the difficulties? Oh, ma'am. Oriana, do you want to go first? Or we'll let our guest. Of course. What are the difficulties in implementing this technology?
Yes, I think there are different barriers. First of all, and I refer to the starting point of our project, the first barrier is the lack of competencies of our teachers. When we start with the needs analysis, we talk with different teachers. We asked them to explain what skills they have. And we noted that nothing know about haptic experiences, how to associate haptic experiences with video audio components. So how to associate the haptic experience with sound, with video, and so on. That is one of the most important results of our project. So we think that technology is very important, but we need to have for our teacher the skills, the technical skills, but not only. I think it's very important for teachers to know the positive impact of technology, the positive, and also to know the aware use of technology, because this is another problem in this moment. Because, for example, okay, we can use artificial intelligence, chatbots, and so on, but we know how to use from an ethical point of view, for example, how to use this technology. So for me, one of the most important barriers is that. Of course, on the other hand, also students with difficulties, sensory disabilities, and so on, need support. So, for example, for this reason, in our project, a very important rule is the involvement of parents, of family, and caregivers in the learning process. And of course, in some cases, also the lack of technology. For example, in the rural areas, if we think of a particular area, maybe can be a barrier to access to the technology.
Okay, thank you very much. Sir, would you like to continue?
I ask if these people are disabilities or no, because maybe it's not disability people, it's a heroes. Because are you telling that we are blind and we can't do anything? So it's incredible that people with theoretically disabilities can do what they do. As barriers, I think that another question related to the Teresa is telling us is the cost of resources, because there are developed some tools, but it's they are very expensive. We are talking about $4,000 or $5,000.
Yes.
So it's impossible to spread and develop and to help people with these such very expensive tools. And not only related to the teachers, is that if really a teacher can learn something, if there is nothing to can learn. So because if I haven't some material, some resources, some tools, how can I learn to use and to use these resources into my classroom for my students? So maybe it's necessary more collaboration and to develop more tools, more resources, and not so expensive.
Okay, thank you. Would you like to weigh in?
To make a little extension of what was said, and to your anecdote about this phone functions, from the designer point of view, in the designing process, for example, in design thinking process, one of the steps, and very important steps, is to empathize. And I believe that we need to, just like your experiment, first teachers need to know how the students feel with some barriers, and then the process of the teaching teachers will be much easier, I believe.
So let me ask our audience maybe, have any of you ever encountered or worked with any such technology? I'll just put down this microphone for a moment. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is so... So have you ever worked or learned of this type of technology ever before?
No.
Have you?
No.
Have you?
Not really.
Have you, sir?
No.
Well, here we have that problem, because it looks like many people in the audience have not even heard of this technology. As all three of you have rightly said, this is terra incognita for many people. Most people do not realize that this technology exists and it can be widely used. Therefore, we should re-enter with this type of training programs for our teachers. But there are very few training programs. Do you think that is because we are afraid of trying something new? Is that the case, Yannick? Are we afraid to be empathetic?
I don't know. Maybe this is true for a little bit, that there is, as you said, there's terra incognita. Yeah, but there is the two sides of this problem. The first is to change the mindset, because we actually, from my point of view, for example, when I'm designing the exhibitions, some very easy strategies that don't need a lot of technology. They are very good for people with some disabilities. For example, people with disabilities of some mind and understanding. For example, dividing text for the parts is very helpful for them. That the one part of the text is bigger and there is everything on it. In very simple way. This is kind of very simple information, but that people with some disabilities, they are not feeling excluded when they are, for example, visiting the exhibition. The second very easy thing is to make, for example, some models, haptic models for them. That this the reproduction, for example, of the sculpture, that is made in the way that everyone can touch it. So it is not contain technology at all. But also there are very much sophisticated tools, for example, haptic gloves, that you can see the picture with them. See the, for example, some painting. Because when you are going through the with this glove on the wall, for example, in front of painting, the tracking of this glove can describe you a painting. So you have audio description, but also with some kind of feeling the size of this painting, and with some details. For example, you can be a little bit closer, and you have a description of the details, and a little bit further, and you have description of whole composition.
This is exactly right. Again, from my experience in linguistics, there was this cognitive linguist called George Lakoff, and he talked about the metaphors we live by. So now I would like to run a short experiment. Not an experiment, but at least an observation. If everybody can just close their eyes for a moment and imagine that you are in Spain, in Italy, in Greece, and you're on that beach and the sun is setting, right? What kind of color do you associate with that setting sun in the evening? Think of the color and tell me what it is. What would be the color? Orange. Yellow. Yellow, red. So how do these colors make you feel warm and good? Well, not to visually impaired people, because they are associated with pain, because they see the world through touch. So if you tell them that it's hot and they touch it, they feel pain, not the warmth. You see, it's a different reality, right? We need to understand that reality. So what are the roles of teachers? How would you describe a teacher's role into making a haptic class or these haptic tools effective? What is the role of the teacher?
I think that, as I said before, it's very important for a teacher to transfer the importance and the positive impact of innovative tools, technological tools, to the students. I think it's the first thing they have to do, and to transfer them the utility in the practice way, in order for students to realize the impact on their learning process of using this tool.
So how can these tools that you use in the project, how can they be used effectively? Do you have any examples of how you could use them effectively?
These tools must be adapted to the students. So teachers need to know how to adapt to the real needs of the students. For example, the app from our project In-Haptic is possible to adapt the different contents or the different services, and to integrate both auditory, visual, haptic to this app, and to facilitate the learning and the comprehension through the tools, the different tools.
So we are living in times where technology is also being questioned by many. Many oppose technology going into the classroom. Many say, well, it's too much. So how can the potential benefits of these tools balance the risk of relying solely on technology, in your opinion? Yannick, we want to start with you?
Every technology, even the simplest one, need to be used very wisely. So it is not the point that to cut out technology in the learning process, but to use it wisely and in some kind of moderated process.
Is there anything that institutions can do? Let's say that I run an institution, a school, a private school, and I would like to incorporate this technology and train my teachers and use it. What's the first step? How do I start doing it?
The first step maybe is to train teachers on these new technologies. This is for me the first step. And for this reason, in our project, yes, we develop new tools, we develop the platform, the application to develop new contents for students with disabilities or learning disorders. But we focus also on the definition of the competence profile of the teachers that use these tools. For us, it was the first step to understand what are the activities that the teachers that use these tools have to do in order to involve in the learning process the students. And then we identify also a specific training program in order to train the teachers. So technology is very important, but first of all we have to train teachers in order to use effectively in their practice work these tools. So this is the first point for the organization. And also I think it's very important the collaboration at European level, so from different countries as in our project, by different organizations. For example, in our partnership, okay, we have VET organization, so we have direct contact with VET teachers, but also we have a technological partner in order to combine the skills of teachers, but also the skills of technological developers. So it's important to combine different skills in order to reach the final goal of the project. And of course the academic skills, because the pedagogical model is based on real research in order to understand the starting point.
So the world is watching, metaphorically, but a small part of the world is watching. I would like the three of you to now air your message to potential teachers and potential users of this technology. There's the camera. Tell them why it is important that this needs to be incorporated. Sir, we'll start with you.
Related to the former question, I think that there are two very important things. One is the collaboration, to share experiences, to share point of view, to share methodologies, to share procedures, because this collaboration is very, very important. And the second question is to think about that this kind of tools, the new technologies. Nowadays we have the problem with the artificial intelligence. These new technologies are a complement, never is a substitute. So we need to develop these tools to offer a better learning, a better way to learn, a better comprehension, because it's not the same to see or to read some chemical structure, that to feel and to see this structure in a different point of view. So we need to adapt, and we need to think about these people with disabilities, because the new technologies in a general mode for VR, the virtual reality, for example, is thinking about with normal people, not with disabilities. So we need to think about people with disabilities to adapt these new technologies, and I think that doing this, we can get it.
Thank you. Message to the world.
I agree with Arturo. To summarize your concept, I think that we have to put the person, the students, at the center of the learning process, and on the basis of their needs to define the specific technologies to use to support their learning process. Because there are a lot of technologies, but I think that not only are for everyone. I think that we have to choose the supporting technologies according to the specific needs of our students.
Yannick?
Yeah, that's the point. We need to make everything according the student and according the learning process. And I believe we need to change a mindset as a teachers, that we don't have one answer how to teach. There is a lot of students and a lot of answers.
Exactly. Let's turn to the audience for a moment then. If I could, thank you. Okay, let me ask. Oh my gosh, it's not working. If we could get this mic. Okay, thank you. Let me refer to the audience for this point. How many of you know sign language? One person. Well, and again, taking from experience, whenever I am in, oh, you do have a microphone, so I'm coming up to you. Whenever I am in a public place and I am being serviced by a person who is hearing impaired, I always find it difficult because how do I even say thank you? How do I communicate? And most of us don't even know these basic elements. Why? Could you please explain, from your opinion, why do you think we here should all learn these additional techniques?
Okay, so I will tell a few words about my experience. Okay, so I started as a teacher of English to deaf students like 20 years ago, and it was a must to know at least a bit of it. So I started to learn through teaching process, in fact. But I guess it's really important to have at least some access to the language, just to create this opportunity for those people to communicate with the rest of the world. So I'm really happy when I can observe in the world nowadays that many institutions implement the interpreters of the sign language to allow deaf people to have access.
Yes.
All right, so that would be my explanation.
Have any of you, would you, or if you think of yours as young people, if you go back to school, would you even consider thinking that technology like in the project over here using these haptic strategies could be employed in the classroom? And sir, would you be willing to learn a new way of learning in order to be more inclusive with these people?
When it's a must.
When it's a must, okay.
I think I could learn it.
Hey, ma'am, same question. Would you be able to learn?
Maybe.
Maybe. Don't be afraid. Come on. This is so. Sir, why don't I ask you, sir? Would you be willing to learn these new technologies in order to foster that development?
If it's a necessity, I will.
So it's important that young people understand the message that we're trying to create and give to them today. That's the whole point, that we are not the target. They are the target. The minds of the young people who think in different categories than when maybe we were young, when certain technology was not available to us. We have to convince these young people from all walks of life in order to be open to these new solutions. Do you have any words that you would like to say to those young people out there to encourage them to go into the project, to start looking at these types of solutions? What would you tell the audience now, the young people out there?
Of course, we develop these tools thinking about students with disabilities, with learning disorders, but all students can use these tools.
Is it easy to use them?
Yes, of course.
It's easy.
Yeah, it's easy. Yeah, it's easy.
As a designer, the tutor of the design, I'm always telling my students, be curious. Because when you are curious, you are going to the mindset that you are solving the problems. And be curious.
You need to develop empathy, because with empathy we can think about the other people. So there is a lot of people out there, and not all people are like us in different ways. For example, not only with people with disabilities, related people and technology. We have the case, for example, the elder people. Okay, you need to get money, cash. Okay, the cashier, automatic machines, but I can't. I don't know how to get money from a machine. And in the same way, the same thought is the people with disabilities. So we need to think that there are people that we can, for example, the floor is green, but people see red. So it's necessary to dress the shoes of other people.
So coming to more or less close, I'd like to ask you, looking ahead, what would be your key recommendation for other projects within not only this framework, but what kind of recommendations from your experience would you give to other institutions, other partners, other universities or NGOs? How do we proceed now? Because we've established the need. What's next? Sir, if we can go from my left to...
Something that we are speak about, collaboration, to build a great network and to share feelings, to share point of view, to share procedures, because my thought can be yours and my experience can be yours. And everyone can help and to build. It's a philosophical point of view, but everyone can build a better world, because we only need a first step. After we have another step, but the problem is the first step, and I think that the In-Haptic project is the first step. So the work is not only ours, but the other institutions, European institutions, and another networks. So this is the example, a great example, and a great job, and come on, together we can do it.
Thank you.
Yes, I agree with Arturo, and I think that when a project ends, we need to continue to disseminate the results of the project, because, as you said, nothing new, this new technology. So it's important to continue to disseminate the results of the project. And I think also that when a project ends, we have positive but also negative result point. So we can start from the negative or from new ideas that come at the end of the project in order to think about new project. For example, how to use the same tools but in different sectors, for example.
And Yannick?
This kind
From a
of
graphic designer's point of view.
This kind of project is very important, because it's this new way of thinking about teaching with using a technology, and I believe in the very near future we need to develop this kind of thinking, because we have so much diverse world, and it's became more diverse, and I believe that inclusive design and inclusive teaching will be the standard, and this is early birds.
So you hear that, dear audience. This inclusivity is part of the future. It is up to you, the young generation, to carry this on and to make it easier for all of us, because no matter what we look like, no matter who we are still brothers and sisters, we are still human beings, and we need to do everything to help us develop in this world. So, gracias, grazie mille, dziękuję, and to everybody, thank you for listening to us. Have a great day, and remember, check out our website to learn more about the project. Thank you.
Okay, I would like to thank you very much to Adam and our partners, our guests. And also I would like to thank you very much our audience. It was really nice to have you here. Maybe you have some thoughts or some comments to share right now about what you heard. Okay, if not, before I introduce you to come to, yes, okay.
Some questions?
Okay, you can ask questions. Take the microphone.
Thank you. Hi everyone, my name is Christian. I have a couple of questions to ask the guests and the hosts. So I think this is a very great project, and it should be deployed as soon as possible. So what are the competencies that are required by a teacher, a caregiver, and a non-literate person to be able to use this application?
Okay, let our project managers tell us.
Yes, as I said before, I don't see. Okay, as I said before, we analyze and we define the competence profile of the teacher, of the expert, in order to be able to use the tools developed by the project. We define the key activities, the knowledge, the skills that the teacher have to to have in order to use these tools. And also we develop a training course that is available on a platform, an online platform. It's an e-learning course in which teacher can improve their skills in order to be able to use the platform, so to develop specific contents for students with learning disorder and sensory disabilities, and to use also the application we develop. Okay. So in our project, we think about the skills of teachers and how to improve these skills.
Thank you very much. My last question. I noticed most of the targeted individuals are from Europe. So my question is, would these projects ever expand beyond Europe to Asia and Africa?
Yes, very good question. So, sir, do you see this expansion possible?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
It's not only a yes, it's necessary. So this is a first step, as I said, and it's necessary to spread not only the result. It's necessary to spread. If you let me do, telling us the passion to help others. In this case, is the passion to help people with disabilities, and all these results, the app and so on, is not only to be used by a concrete, specific group of people. Our job, or Erasmus in general, all the results can be used by all people around the world. So maybe it's necessary to study, to analyze other collectives, if their needs are the same or are different. If the needs are the same, perfect. We have the results and we have the apps. If are different, well, is take the app or take the results and change and adapt to the real needs of another collectives. So the first step is done. So we offer the results for everybody. So yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, any other opinions? Some thoughts, guys? Okay. So thank you very much to our panelists. And before I let you go, I would like to present right now the website of our project. Actually, all the results are already uploaded there. We are still in the process of finalizing the project because it is going to end in the end of December. But we are encouraging you right now to check out all the results. If you have some questions, you can go direct to our department. We are located in K building of our academy in the room K111, so you can come anytime. And now we will show you our website. After that, we will ask you to scan the QR code and fill in the survey, because it's very important for us to collect your feedback, to become familiar with your feelings after the conference. And we are encouraging you also to follow our website, I mean the website of our academy, which all the projects that we are involved in are presented there, or you can also follow our Facebook as well. So thank you very much. Now we will present the website. You can take some pictures of it and check it later. And then please fill in the survey. After you fill in the survey, you are invited to be our guests and to join for the lunch. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so this is our, sorry. Okay, so our website is www.inhapticvet.eu. So you can take a picture, and all the results are already there in all the languages that were used in our consortium, because these are some rules coming from the Erasmus Plus program, that we are supposed to place every results in each partner's language. So I really encourage you to visit our website, to search for some new ideas, some new information, to try out our application, our platform. Okay, and now I would like to ask Michał to present the QR code for our survey. So please, it will take around 5 to 7 minutes to complete it. So please do that, because as I said, your feedback is really important, it really matters. And after that, I would like to invite you for a lunch. Thank you again.